What's up, guys? It's Nightwing2303 and Jerron Mon from WearTesters.com, and today is episode 2 of Trash Talk.
Just to start off, I had to wear my Curry gear today because it's the official day of the release of his first signature shoe with Under Armour. I got my pair and I'm excited. But the first topic we're going to talk about today on Trash Talk is the Fantastic Four trailer dropped not too long ago. Nightwing has seen it. I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it right now. And we're going to talk about what we think because we both love comic books and movies. So let's get right into it.
You haven't seen it at all?
Nope. Hate it.
Oh,
Damn. Super serious, huh?
Yeah. So, what'd you think?
Okay, well, I think it looks really good as far as the style and all that. But my main concern is that it's really serious and it's about a movie about these people named the Fantastic Four. I mean,
are you a Fantastic Four fan?
So when the originals, or for me, they're the originals.
Are you talking about the movies?
Yeah, the movies came out early 2000s with Jessica Alba and who is now Captain America. The first one, when I was a kid, I thought it was cool.
So you were a kid when that came out? That's how young you were?
I think I was like 12, maybe.
Damn. Okay, I was working at the movie theater when that came out.
Yeah, so I thought they were cool. I thought they were fun. That's the main thing. I thought they were fun because you got the guy, he's the Human Torch. He's cool. He was doing motocross, which was really weird to other people, but I thought that was cool. But now this is like super serious, so that's interesting that they went that way.
You even find that interesting after Batman Begins?
Yeah,
because that's what everything's going, you know what I mean?
But not necessarily the Marvel Universe, you know? The Iron Mans are super lighthearted.
That's the thing, though, is that this isn't actually the Marvel Universe. It's a Fox movie.
That's right.
So this and X-Men are separate. I'm personally not a fan of Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I did not hate the first 2 movies. I found them to be tolerable.
Yeah, me too.
But I always thought that the Thing... There's a bug in here, man.
It's bugging out.
But I always... Is that it?
Nah.
Okay. So I always thought that the Thing in that movie was weak looking.
You thought it was weak? A lot of people like it because it was practical.
It didn't look practical. It looked like a guy in a suit.
Yeah, it didn't look practical.
If it's going to be a practical effect, it has to look like it's not an effect at all. And it didn't work. And then on top of that, the Thing is supposed to be the size of the Hulk. And this guy was shorter than Sue.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Funny, yeah.
It doesn't work. That's around the time when Daredevil came out. And I thought Daredevil was pretty sick. I still think that the director's cut of that movie is dope. There's still a few scenes that are weak, like that playground scene.
Gotta watch it.
But it's a good movie. You never seen it?
Not the director's cut.
Oh, man. It's sick, dude.
But I like the...
Well, the regular version is sick, but the other one's is a little bit more brutal.
Ooh, that.
Yeah, because they toned it down to PG-13.
With a name like Daredevil.
It's, well, the character in general. With,
that too.
Ninjas and assassins and stuff. It's got to be... It's got to be pretty dark.
Oh, definitely.
And that's where this comes in too. This property originally, in the comic books, it was a dark property. It wasn't
really.
It wasn't a lighthearted, campy with Bucky and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like that.
Okay, well, I like the way it looks. One of my favorite movies of last year was Interstellar.
I didn't watch it.
I cried. This looks like Interstellar with superpowers. So, I mean, that's cool. If I had to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down so far, thumbs up. But I will say that it was very, very awkward because this comes out in August. It's supposed to. Yeah, and we're just seeing stuff from it now. They were super secretive and it felt like for all the wrong reasons.
I think that's good though. It's just like a shoe release. I don't want to know anything.
Okay, yeah.
Because when you start leaking stuff and everybody's just speculating, there's no real facts.
True, and when the stuff actually comes out,
you've already got a preconceived notion of it. You've already either been like, oh, this is trash, or this is sick, right? And it's not really either because you don't know nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait. The only thing that I wonder is, you might have not seen it, but the Thing didn't have any pants on.
What?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a Mr. Manhattan moment?
I don't know.
Because that was hella awkward in the theater, dude.
He's always rock hard.
Whoa.
So, as most of you guys know, or actually maybe you don't know, but if you're a nerd like us, then you might have heard that SpiderMan, who is also a separate Marvel property, the way that the properties work is there's Marvel Studios, who creates and maintains and directs and everything their own movies. They distribute their own stuff, right? So they're all within one universe. And then there was Fox, who has Spider-Man and Fantastic. They're in their own little bubble.
X-Men?
or didn't I not say?
You said
Fox, who has Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. Okay, so Fox has Fantastic Four and X-Men, and they cannot cross with Marvel.
Right.
At least at this point. And then there's Spider-Man, and he's by himself with Sony. Yeah, and so there would never be any interweaving and stuff. But Spider-Man's been bombing lately. Or he hasn't really bombed, it's just Spider-Man 3 sucked. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2 really sucked.
Sadly.
Yeah, so after the whole Sony hack thing and everything leaked, turns out that whatever was being reported as potential possibilities of Spider-Man coming over to the Marvel Universe is actually happened. Supposedly, he's being introduced in a Marvel movie before, I think it was Avengers 3, which is part of that Infinity War. So there's going to be Infinity War 1 and Infinity War 2.
I think he's supposed to debut in Civil War.
Well, some people had said that he was going to debut afterwards because Civil War's already started in production. Okay. But I think that they've had 2 drafts ready. So,
I think the 2 draft thing, I remember reading about that.
Yeah, so I think that what they're doing is it's an automatic, like, yo, we're fitting him in Civil War.
Awesome.
So he's going to be recast. No more...
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield, who I actually thought was alright. He was a better Spider-Man than Tobey.
I think the best portrayal of Spider-Man.
Yeah, not Peter Parker.
No, Spider-Man.
Correct.
Awesome. Nailed it. 100% amazing.
Exactly. With the wit.
Oh, perfect.
The quick one-liners. Constantly talking trash.
That's how Spider-Man is. And he did it perfectly. But Peter Parker, nah.
He was he's a new age kid, which is not... It's fine if you read the Ultimate Comics, but if you're an old school Spider-Man fan from Amazing Fantasy issue 15, that's not Peter Parker. So
I'm just gonna say it. Andrew Garfield's a good looking dude, and he's pretty cool. He's a cool guy. Peter Parker's not a cool guy, man.
That's the thing. He wasn't nearly convincing as a nerd or a dork,
he was a hipster.
Yeah,
that was also Spider-Man.
Correct.
That's not how you're supposed to do it. And so, hopefully whoever they cast, you know what, you're going to be really mad when I tell you this, but there's been like a huge internet campaign for Jaden Smith to be the next Spider-Man.
Who's Jaden Smith? Will Smith's
son.
Kid?
I know. Would that be so terrible?
As who? Miles Morales?
I guess.
You can't have him be Peter Parker.
I know. I don't know what they're doing, but that would not be the direction to go. And I have faith in Marvel because they've been hitting everything right on the nail since like Iron Man, right? So they probably won't do that, but whoever they do cast, the things that they have to do is be a good Peter Parker and somehow live up to what Andrew Garfield did in the Spidey suit.
I hope so. And it's not hard to do. All you do is voiceover work.
True that.
And you just talk trash.
True that.
I mean...
And Spider-Man is my favorite comic book superhero character.
He's one of my favorites in Marvel. He actually might be my favorite. He's on the wall. And nobody else really is on the wall, so...
He is just awesome, because if I had to be any superhero, it'd be Spider-Man.
Definitely.
You live in New York, you have the second best thing to flying, right?
Yeah.
You have Spidey sense, which just makes you hypnotic, and you're like, you could just guess everything that's gonna happen. It looks way cool. Also, the chicks, bro. He has some of the best chicks.
What, Black Cat?
Black Cat, super hot. Mary Jane, not... Kirsten Dunst, but in the comics, she's pretty hot, dude. Gwen Stacy in this last movie, pretty hot, dude.
The only animated or drawn out character I've ever been attracted to has been Rogue from the 90s X-Men. Other than that, I don't see like any attraction physically.
For me, it's all about the Spidey girls, man.
Hey, if that works, then that's cool, but I think Marvel's gonna kill it. And I'm excited to see Spider-Man
absolutely
in that universe.
I mean, what was one thing in this past, I would say, 7 years that the Marvel thing really took off? Name one thing that you have not liked from them.
Thor 2.
Okay. But Loki was kick-ass in that one.
Yeah, but he was locked up though, wasn't he? For most of it?
For some of it, but he was still kick-ass. I think the one thing that I didn't like was Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 I did not like at all.
Terrible.
See, I forgot about that movie.
Oh my god, terrible. and that's a whole different thing.
And a lot of people like that thing. They didn't like Iron Man 2, but they like Iron Man 3.
They're crazy because Iron Man 3 was that is the one black stain on Marvel's sheet.
Iron Man 2 had the best fight scene with War Machine and Iron Man just decimating those droids. The drones.
Yeah, dude.
That was like a Whiplash.
With Whiplash, Mickey Rourke. I didn't hate Iron Man 2 as much as other people did, but Iron Man 3, no excuse, terrible movie.
I did not want to see Pepper get powers. That was dumb, dude.
Terrible movie. That's a whole different trash
Oh my
talk.
God.
Oh, terrible. So, rounding it out, Spider-Man, Marvel, they're gonna kill it. Tell us if you're excited about it. Tell us what you want to see out of Spider-Man in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Twip, twip.
So there was this image that surfaced on social media. I don't know who the original source is. You'll probably see a photo of it right here. But it's of the Jordan Shine model at Ross for a sale price of $40. And if you don't know, the Jordan Shine retailed for $400. So 400 to 40. Do the math. That is crazy. I just want to know what your thoughts of that price markdown and the Jordan Shine price in general. Like, what was going on there with Jordan Brand?
Well, I don't work there, so I don't know exactly what they were thinking, but I don't understand their thinking in general. It had an Air Jordan 1 tooling, which is worthless.
Right.
And then it had a supposed premium leather upper. I've seen them in person. It's very nice leather.
Okay, yeah.
So I give it that. Not $400 nice, but it's nice leather.
No.
And then, on top of that, the shoe, I just didn't personally like the way they looked.
The toe box was way too round for me.
Well, the whole thing, it just didn't. I just didn't like it. So I'm not. If you like it or whatever, that's cool. That's to each his own. But yeah, and then the price tag for sure was a killer, like an immediate turnoff. I think that new shoe, the Jordan
Instigator,
is that what it is?
The one that looks like it?
No, the Illusion.
Yeah, I think so. Something with an eye.
Yeah, it's got like a weird woven side panel.
It looks exactly the same.
We'll insert a picture. It looks exactly the same.
Exactly.
And those are clean. I like the back. I like the collar. I like the price. I think that's like $90 or something like that. It's not too bad. And I think that those are way better. If you're going to put a $400 shoe out there, for one, it's got to have some major tech in it. Major tech.
True that.
Two, those materials better be more than premium.
Why wasn't it made in Italy like the Jordan 2?
I don't know.
That would warrant some price markup.
They would have looked better if they were full suede uppers instead of smooth leather like that.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Red leather to me kind of looks tacky sometimes.
My whole life, my whole childhood, from age 7 to 14, my mom had a red leather couch. No lie, the thing cost so much.
I didn't even know they made leather.
It was the
couches
talk
like
of the town because I grew up in a small town. Everyone goes, "Oh, Rika's red leather couch. Oh yeah, we were partying on it last night."
That's crazy.
Anyways, that's what that reminded me of. I tried on the Jordan Shine because it was a size 10.5 in Nike Town out in SF. I gotta try this on. $400. Like, what is this all about?
There's nothing special in there.
Tried it on. I mean, it nothing special. The inner lining's all leather. The leather's nice, but it's not $400 worth. And the fact that it's at Ross right now for $40 is crazy.
The only way that markdown even happened is because the price margin is so inflated. Or not the price margin, the profit margin is so inflated on that shoe that they were able to afford that markdown. You know what I'm saying? So that markdown wouldn't have happened if there wasn't room to make it happen.
You can't even buy the Hydra, I think they call them the Hydra slippers, the Jordan slippers.
The Hydros.
Hydros for $40. Those are like $49.99.
They're like $50 or something.
That is crazy.
South Beach slides.
You can't even buy those for that price.
Those are like $80 retail or something.
That's crazy. So the $400 price tag is just absolutely ridiculous. And I want to get into a similar topic in Jordan Brand's pricing. I had talked to you about this briefly before, and you had an interesting, I don't know, statement or whatever you want to call it, about what you think Jordan Brand shoes should cost. So tell us a little bit about that.
Me personally, the 150 range is perfect. I would love for them to be less.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, of course.
So, like something that older collectors like myself will really kind of harp on is that, like, you take a pair of Jordan 11s, the retro from, what was it, retro 2000, 2001.
Okay.
They retail for like 125 or something like that. What are they now?
185.
No, they were 200.
Were they really?
The white ones, the Legend Blues, were
200.
200.
Okay, that's crazy.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Right?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's a really big markup, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand inflation and everything, but like I said earlier, if you could take $400 and drop it to 40, there's room in your price or profit margin to still do that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because for Ross to get the shoe and sell it for 40, they had to have paid less than that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think 150 is fair. And like I said, I would love for certain shoes, not all of them, because everything after I think it was the 12 is when they started to retail at 150.
Okay.
Everything from there up could be slightly increased, but even then, I don't feel like a pair of 13s. I don't like the 185 price tag.
Yeah, for
I only
13,
bought one pair.
Yeah.
And it was only because it was an original colorway. Only. That's it.
You're saying 150-ish price range, a little higher, not too much. Definitely below 180 is what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, would this in turn affect Nike's pricing? Because I know for myself, just being a fan of Michael Jordan, I'd have a problem paying more money for a LeBron than a Jordan product.
Well, pause that thought for a second. Kick Nike out of the picture. Look at the flagship model. Mm-hmm. $225 for the latest and greatest in tech and technology.
Yes.
Compare it to the 11.
Uh-huh.
There's a $25 difference. Why?
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like, I don't get that. I do not get that.
That's kind of like Jordan shot themselves in the foot, because like
their pricing is all over the place.
Yeah, because they're like, look, we charge $200 for the 11s. We can't get the latest and greatest for less than that. So I see what you're saying there.
So you're telling me that you could not. Let's not even take the 29 into consideration. Let's go back a year to the 28s. Mm-hmm. 250. The SE was 150. Okay, 150. Mm-hmm. Because that shroud cost them a boatload of money to put in there, because it was a trademark product.
Right.
Okay, so it was licensed to them to use. Now, you have the shroudless version for 150, the latest and greatest in tech, covered in carbon fiber and everything, for 150, and the most recent retros at that time for 160.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, their pricing is all over the place when you break it down. I have no idea, but all I know is if I'm going to Foot Locker and I'm buying a Jordan and two other brand shoes, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, whoever, and I look at the receipt, for some reason, I want my Jordan to be more than those other ones.
No, because that's why Jordans are more than the other ones. Jordan now is a luxury brand, and that's where the shine comes in. I'm a pretty big fan of the Jordan brand, so it's not, you know what I mean? It's not going to deter me completely, because there's certain things that I just want, so I'm going to have to, just shut up and buy the shoe or whatever if I really want it. But it does make me more selective, because it sucks sometimes. And I just think that back then, this was all like, it was just, it was more reasonable to where it all made sense. And now nothing really makes sense to me.
Now you're only really getting the colorways that you need. Like, you got the Legend Blues. I mean, you got to get those, right?
Yeah.
The Jordan 10s that are coming out with the 45, kind of got to get those, because we haven't seen the 45 in a minute. But for me, if the prices were manageable, I'd cop the Jordan 1 Laser right now. I think those are clean, but they're $185.
Well, the Jordan 4 lasers are super sick. And they're like $250 or something.
See, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't cop that because of the price, but I love the shoe.
I wanted to cop it, and I loved the 4, but then I seen the price, and I was like, I'm sorry, man. I just can't do it.
I know what you guys are thinking right now. Like, I'm still going to cop it. I don't mind paying the price. Once you start collecting sneakers for a minute, you're going to be more selective. Trust us. Like, it's happened.
It's not even that. It's the thought of entertaining that price point is what allows that to happen.
Definitely.
So all it takes is it's like if you're in class, everything's cool, and then one kid starts acting up and y'all get in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's that one idiot ruined it for everybody. So whoever the first idiot was that paid more for a shoe than they should have, or could have even, it kind of opens a door, and it's not just all that. There's different things, there is inflation, and materials are not the same.
Right.
They cost more. Some of them are just non-existent anymore. Certain carbon fibers are not available. All this stuff I learned when I was in Portland, and it's very interesting. I think that if the brand would talk about these things, then maybe people would actually understand it a little bit more.
Definitely.
But
be more transparent.
A little bit more transparent. You know what I mean? Just to educate the consumer, because that's the thing that I think needs to be done now, is that everybody needs to be re-educated on what goes on nowadays, because nobody truly knows. It's all speculation, forums, everything, comment sections, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. nobody's really saying anything truthful. They're just frustrated, and I understand it because I'm frustrated too. But I do understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird where, you know, you have certain things that you can do, but you choose not to.
Right.
You have a profit margin that you're supposed to target. Business-wise, you got to do that, even if certain people are kind of like, well, this sucks because this quality product, or the quality in this product suffers now.
Right.
Because all the quality went into that one product.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is, but yeah, I don't understand the pricing. I don't agree with it. I will pay the price once in a while when I need to, and we'll just kind of leave it at that.